What's up guys, I'm doing a live unboxing of the Huawei Nexus 6P. Hopefully the video doesn't crash. This actually crashed on me twice, so hopefully this live stream is actually going to be working the way it should be. But anyways, I want to get into just doing an unboxing, a first impressions type video for the Nexus 6P. This is actually pretty exciting for me because I've never used a Huawei device, so I'm really anxious to see what it's going to be like. I've been seeing some really cool stuff about the 6P on other channels. Now this is actually a frost color, the white color, and I haven't seen any videos on that color yet, so this might be a first, I don't know. At least it's going to be the first video I'm going to see with the white Nexus 6P. So if you haven't seen the box already, this is what the box looks like. Kind of got this silver trim going on the bottom and stuff like that. So let's see. I wonder if it kind of sucks that you have to cut into it in order to get to it, but let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so this is the downside of doing a live part because it takes a lot longer. But anyways, I think it's a cool experience to be able to do it live. You get to experience it with me. All my impressions are definitely not going to be edited out, or if I screw up, it's not going to be edited out. So here's some of the paperwork, some instructions of how to get going, what comes in the box and so forth. Here's the 6P itself. I'm going to put it off to the side for just a second. And we got our USB Type-C, and this is one of the longer cables it comes with. Got our charging brick. Got a 90-day trial, or basically you get 90 days free on Google Play Music. Really cool stuff. I took advantage of this when I got the Nexus 6, the Motorola Nexus 6. So I was really excited to see that they're doing that promotion again. This should be just our normal paperwork with our SIM card ejector. Put that off to the side, and now we got a shorter USB Type-C cable, and this has actually USB to Type-C. I think this one is C to C, so that's kind of how that works. It's really cool that they actually provided both of these cables in this. The LG version, the 5X, it does not, so you kind of have to go out and spend at least a few more bucks on at least one other kind of style cable. Alright, so let's kind of put all this back in for just a moment. Get it all put off to the side so we can get to the start of the show. This is the Nexus 6P, the Huawei version. Let's go ahead and take off this plastic. Now, I'm a fan of white phones. I really like white backs and things like that. I think it just looks the best. And yeah, I'm happy with this decision. I really like the white color. It looks really cool. It kind of has, like, the reason why it kind of called a frost kind of color. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if I can get a little bit closer. But it kind of gives us somewhat of a glimmer. You can kind of see it right there. But it's got a nice, soft touch to the back. I was able to put my hands on a Nexus 6P at the Android barbecue, and I was really relieved. Like, I know in some videos they say, the hump wasn't that bad, but when you put it in your hands, it's really not that bad at all. It's hardly anything. If you think about it, I don't know, most cameras these days, even Samsung or iPhones and all this kind of stuff, they all got cameras that protrude out. The Moto X here is kind of, it's flat and flush right there, but you still got all this right there, so I don't know, it's not anything new, at least to this or whatever. So just a little tour on the back. You got your fingerprint sensor here. I'm looking forward to getting that all set up. I'll do that in this video real quick once I get to that screen. You got your camera in the back. You got some, your laser focus. You got some microphones. It's really thin. That's really cool. I like how it has buttons on both. It's got buttons on one side versus two sides. I know on the Note 5 that I'm actually recording this with, it's got the power button on one side. I just like having it right here to where my thumb is going to be the only one mashing the button. So I really like that a lot. Now, okay, now that this is actually live, I do want to say that tweet me. That's probably the best way to actually interact with me while I'm doing this video. And you can do that at Bane Tech if you want to interact. Or you can head over to my channel and leave a comment on the video. I should still get some notifications. I think that'll be alright. But anyways, So yeah, the screen size is big, really nice to me too. I like the 5.7 inch. It's my favorite size for a screen. We're gonna have dual stereo speakers. That's really cool. I love front-facing speakers. I got that on the Moto X, and it's been one of my favorite features moving from the Note 5. The Note 5, you got it on the bottom, which is a better spot than what they had in the past. When they had it on the back, it's just a horrible spot to be on the back. But the speakers being on the front, I really like that because I like to watch videos with my phone, and it's one of the perfect ways to do that. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing booted up. Now, as far as the power button press, it was actually pretty nice. Nice and tactile, that's what I like. I'm really looking forward to putting out a lot of different coverage for this. Just talking about the phone while this is booting up, it's nothing special, nothing you haven't seen before with this boot animation. But I like the chamfered edges here. The chamfered edges, however you say it. But yeah, that looks really sharp to me. I like that. Like when the Note 4, when they had it on it, I thought it really dressed it up a lot. So let's go ahead and get this set up real quick. Insert a SIM card. Might as well do it. Let's just do it. Take it out of my Moto X and go ahead and get this all booted up. And the way you do that is you got your tool, press it in the hole. Lots of that's what she said moments that we could do. Let's just see how fast this is. Where's the SIM card? SIM card tray is on the left-hand side of the screen side. Now I'm going to go ahead and power down my Moto X because you don't want it on at the same time. While that's powering off, we'll go ahead and do this. And I am actually going to be activating this on Verizon. That's who I'm going to be using this with. All right, so for a little lesson, if you've never inserted a SIM card before, you got a little slot here. See if I can touch the focus. Yeah, there we go. There's a little slot right here to where you can just put it in there. It's got a dual SIM card slot, so that's pretty cool. And just put it on back in. Make sure you put it in the right way though. There we go. Don't want to power off, and we got our SIM card in, so let's see what it does. See how fast it recognizes. And we can get the Jeopardy music going. Okay, it's activating. I'm gonna let it do its thing. Okay, there it is. There's my signal. Can't do the drop down yet. I'm gonna connect my Wi-Fi real quick. All right, back at you. Checking for software updates. Got another device. If you use another Android device, you can quickly copy your stuff. Yeah, let's do that. But let's power this back on. So this video is going to be a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, just because I'm going through a whole setup. It's going to be basically, I can't do first impressions without actually going through the whole process and see what it's like. Now, one of the things that I like about the Moto X and all that kind of stuff, I'm not going to do a whole big comparison, but you can use an SD card. I thought that was really cool if they included that. But I got the 64 gig version of this Nexus 6P because 32 is not enough for me. I didn't want to shell out enough for the 128, although the 128 would be really nice to have. I might just skip this part. Just keep on going. And so let's just sign in real quick. All right, almost got signed in. I'm gonna connect this to the Wi-Fi so that way I can interact with you guys because I took my SIM out. All right. Just scroll down here to hit next. All right. Let's see. Yes, let's go ahead and set up our fingerprint. That's the next step. I want to get this thing going. All right, let's do a pin. All right, here we go. Almost there. All right, locate the Nexus imprint sensor on the back of the phone. Should be kind of in a natural position. Hit next. I'm pressing it. Not like really aiming for it, which is actually kind of what you're supposed to do. You can add another, so I'm actually going to go on my left hand, because I might actually use two hands doing this. All right, so that was less steps than what I've used before, like with the Note 5. I'm just going to hit next for now. 2 is enough. 2 index fingers. That's pretty much the fingers that's going to be hitting that spot anyways. All right, restore from last backup, last used today, my Moto X. Hit next. The setup is a lot more than what it used to be, that's for sure. Definitely want to do Google now. So it's going to start restoring. See what social network stuff we got going on. Got some people favoriting and things like that. So, I mean, while this is restoring and stuff, like kind of the content that I'm going to be doing with this Nexus 6P is one, if you didn't check out my Note 5 review, there's a lot of tidbits in there that's kind of going to be my judge. Like, is this going to be as good as the Note 5? Am I going to like this as much as the Note 5? At this point, the Note 5 is my standard as far as 2015 devices go. I'm not going to really bother with like comparing it with S Pen type features because that's pointless, but I'm going to, judge it on performance, judge it on camera, judge it on just the overall user experience if it performs well. Huh, that's interesting. All right, so I guess the fingerprint thing doesn't work until we get all restored. But anyways, like the other stuff that I'm really looking forward to this, and I've been out of the modification game for a little while now, so I'm really looking forward to getting back into that game, unlocking the bootloader, doing ROMs, doing different modifications, things like that. It's been a while since I've actually had a device to where I could actually do that. I just got this one, so I'm gonna plan on doing those kind of videos for the Moto X as well. But I definitely want to concentrate a lot on the Nexus 6P because it's a Nexus, and that's, the fun part about having a Nexus is like doing whatever you want with it. And that's going to be awesome. And it's really cool that I'm able to add it on Verizon now. Like us Verizon users, we've had such limited choices of what we could actually use for like our stuff. So, okay, so the fingerprint is actually showing up this time, and it worked that time, so that's cool. I guess it's going to take its time to restore. But anyways, some more about the content that I want to do with this. And let me know in the comments down below of what kind of content you want to see from me with the Nexus 6P. Like, what kind of content do you want to see that maybe nobody else is doing? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll try to make those kind of videos. I'm going to support this device as long as I can. If it treats me well, it'll stick around. If it ends up being a pain in the butt, it'll get sold or returned or something like that, and just move on to the next device. But I've got a good feeling about this. Just, first impressions, like, man, it's a really thin device. It's got enough weight to it feels like you got something in your hands. I love the metal build quality. I like the white color, the chamfered trim. I mean, it looks nice. I'm looking forward to, oh wow, yeah, the fingerprint sensor, I was just about to say, I'm looking forward to see how well this works. And it's working pretty good so far. I just unlocked it without doing anything but just tapping that back. So that's really cool. I want to get into like taking a few pictures for you before I end this video. So once we get past this restoring process. But yeah, like back in the day, like, I don't know, it's been probably a good year or so since I've done any kind of ROM video or something like that. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into that game. It's going to be fun. Being able to provide that kind of content once again. It's always fun to load up that kind of stuff, really make the phone do what you want it to do, see the developers, what they're working on. I like getting to show off like other people's talents. I'm not a developer. I've thought about trying to get into making some, apps or something like that, but it's just never actually come my way to do that. So it's just always fun to show off other people's talents and so forth. So I'm looking forward to doing those kind of ROM videos. I don't know if I'll get into exposed framework. It just kind of depends on how I want to operate the phone, but we'll see how that goes when the day comes, I guess. But mostly interested to see what ROMs are looking like these days because it's been a while. I think it's been ever since the LG G3. Yeah, that's the last time I did any kind of ROM stuff, and that was fun to put like all kinds of different ROMs on there. There was CyanogenBased ROMs, you got AOSP based ROMs, things like that. So goodness gracious, this is taking a while to restore. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, I did have a lot of apps to restore, so that's I can't blame them for that at all. So I like Nova Launcher. That's what I'm going to use. I've tried to use Google Now Launcher, but I just always end up going back to Nova. I just can't get away from it for some reason. I like having a bunch of drawers down at the bottom, and I don't know, it's nice. And I like to be able to put a different kind of icon pack on there. But, that's one of those things to where there's some exposed mods out there to where you can use whatever launcher you want and put whatever icon pack that you want. So if you want to use Google Launcher, you can do that kind of stuff. That's the beauty of a Nexus device. So it looks like we got some more stuff restoring. And while that's doing that, let's get into the camera. Go to the camera app and see how it functions. We can take some pictures of the Moto X for now. And I'm going to deny the location. All right, swipe right to left for video. Okay, got it. So you got two different settings here that you can swipe from left to right to get to the video or photo. So that was relatively quick transition there. It's for the menu stuff. That's part of performance. Most of the time I try to take all my photos and videos, definitely videos this way, but a lot of times my photos will be this way as well. All right, so you can do tap to focus. You can see it kind of getting the different exposures. All right, something I want to try. I like to get, I guess what you call a macro shot with a smartphone, see how close you can get to an object and get still all the detail, see how it focuses. I know with the Note 5, it was really good. So it seems like this is the distance that I can get from it, so maybe an inch or two away. This is kind of the stuff I judge a camera on. Yeah, first picture with my 6P will be of the Moto X. There we go. And you got a little bloop sound. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Let's zoom on in and see what kind of detail we get. It's not too bad. That's pretty good. Man, I judge a camera pretty hard because I use the camera a lot. I'm really picky. I got spoiled with Samsung cameras. They're just really good. So I'm really have high expectations with the Huawei one. I've heard some pretty cool stuff about it. When like MKBHD, he said that he wasn't disappointed, which means it's not the best, but it's not disappointed, which is a good thing. So mode list, got photosphere, panoramic, lens blur, settings. Let's go into settings real quick. Resolution, quality. All right, so these are our choices here. A lot of times, I don't know, I kind of get torn between doing the 4.3 or the 6.9. 6.9, it kind of gives that full effect, but if you want the more megapixels, stick on up to there. Front camera, that's fine. Video, so this is like your default settings. If you want to do 4K, you got to change it to 4K. Front, only up to 1080p. That's not a deal breaker to me. And panoramic resolution, I'm gonna go high. Get the good stuff. Save location, that's for geotagging kind of stuff. Grid, blur settings, and that's about it. So there's the settings for the camera. Film strip. Okay, so that's I guess your gallery kind of thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so zooming, Z for zoom. Okay, I'm like, what is a Z plus for? It's for zooming. Oh man. All right, so we got HDR, off, on, auto, timers. We got 3, 10 seconds. I hardly ever used a flash. I just never do use it. And so we got front facing, so give you the nice little wave while I'm doing that. Come back. So that's just a brief little tour of the camera and the other stuff, you know. I don't know. It's going to be fun to just really look over this kind of stuff and see what I like about the phone and see what if it's going to be like living up to my expectations and if it's going to be better than a Note 5, because the Note 5 or the Note series has always been one of those phones like I kind of just always want to go back to that phone as my daily driver. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. This has been my first impressions and also unboxing video of the Nexus 6P, the Frost one. Let me know if this is the first Frost video that you've seen down in the comments. I'm really interested to see if you guys have seen anybody do a video on the white one. That's really, I'm just kind of interested. So let me know, and if you've stuck around this long, let me know down in the comments by saying "Cowabunga, dude," or something like that. I don't know, whatever. Be goofy if you want to. Stay tuned for more coverage on the Nexus 6P. I'm really looking forward to providing tons and tons of content about the Nexus 6P. I'm going to be doing accessories as well, finding what the good fits are, you know, tempered glass screen protectors. I got some cases on the way. Just really looking forward to doing those kind of videos along with some of the development side of stuff. So yeah, this has been, again, my unboxing video and also my first